Tonight, the story of a Lincoln family afraid of their own son.
He has mental health problems, but finding him help is shining a light on a pretty big problem. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Brent Bonfleur has their story.
On the heels of the Florida high school shooting, mental health has become a hot topic, but it's nothing new for a Lincoln family. We're not revealing their names or showing their faces. Their story centers around their 16-year-old son, who we're calling CJ. Diagnosed with autism and ADHD since he was a baby, CJ has lived a relatively normal life. But last year, his behavior started to change. He became increasingly belligerent, even physically threatening, and began to have violent hallucinations.
The hallucinations he was having were very disturbing. Blood, rape, torture, murder, and it scared us. We knew he needed help, and he needed help fast.
One night, after an argument between CJ and his parents at home, things took a dark turn.
I was daydreaming about me having a steak knife, killing Mom and Dad.
This audio recording is part of a chilling conversation between CJ and his older brother, where he threatens to murder his parents.
Where they're on the bed, I stabbed them, cut the throats, blood came out, to the bed, to the floor. It seemed real.
After hearing the recording, they called the police, who escorted CJ to Bryan West Emergency Mental Health Center. The father said once he was admitted, they noticed he was a danger. But a few days later, he was discharged back to them. And while the family feared for their safety, Bryan said he didn't meet the criteria to stay in their acute crisis care, which is not meant to be long-term.
If an individual is a danger to themselves or others, they would not be released from, the psychiatrist would not release them from the medical center. So if they no longer meet that acute care criteria and it's determined that they need to move on to a lesser level of care, then that's when that individual would start. They would help them transition into the next step of their treatment.
In desperation, CJ's parents went to the county attorney's office and made him a ward of the state so he could get care. Acting County Attorney Pat Condon says of the more than 300 abuse neglect cases last year in Nebraska, only 16 were considered no fault, like CJ's.
Basically, it's no fault of the parents. The parents did everything they could, and in this case, they did everything they could to get help for their child.
The family found short-term solutions at several facilities, but nothing permanent. A judge ordered CJ be moved to CHI Emmanuel Hospital in Omaha, where he has been a patient since January. CJ's parents say he still reports violent hallucinations and that doctors have told them they do not recommend he be in contact with the public. CJ's parents say they don't want him home, but know they also can't afford to keep him in a facility forever.
We've done everything we can, but we've hit that wall. And what's going to happen if we continue? I mean, we'll lose our house, we'll lose our car, and at that point, then we can't parent.
While the state will cover part of the cost now, CJ will age out of the system at 19. His parents are looking into future options, but say few exist, a harsh reality that faces many across the state. According to a 2015 study by the University of Nebraska Medical Center, only 5 of Nebraska's 93 counties meet the federal standard for adequate mental health coverage, and 48 counties did not have a single mental health care provider. CJ's parents say they love their son and want him to get the help he needs. They say they're fortunate to have the means to get as far as they did, but they worry that many other families won't be as lucky, and that a lack of mental health care will lead to more tragedies like Parkland, Florida, and Columbine. Still, they say they won't stop fighting to find a solution.
We were threatened with jail and bankruptcy and everything else, throughout this whole process. You do what you need to do for your family.
Reporting in Lincoln, Brent Bonfleur, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you so much, Brent. You can read more about CJ's story on KOKNTV.com.
We also have links to mental health services. Just click on this story.